If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Did you know that even with the best intentions, we can still do the wrong stuff? Let's talk about why. Hey everybody, look, I just wanted to share something real quick with you. This goes back to another message I was talking about recently about the people who we have around us. I think I gave a video not too long ago similar to this one, but I want you to understand that even if we have the best intentions in the world, if we're not careful to check the people that we have around us, we could easily be influenced. I got a story right here. If you all remember the story of Moses and when God told him to go out and get the people out of Egypt, I want to mention something specific because they were going back and forth about this. In Exodus chapter 4, verses 14 through 16, the Lord's anger burned against Moses, and he said, "What about your brother Aaron the Levite? I know he can speak well. He's already on his way to meet you. And in his heart, his heart will be glad when he sees you. You shall speak to him and put words in his mouth. I will help both of you speak, and I will teach you what to do. He will speak to the people for you, and it will be as if he were your mouth and you were God to him." God is saying right here in verse 15, you shall speak to him and put words in his mouth. I will help both of you speak and will teach you what to do. So this is God teaching Moses, and by teaching Moses, also teaching Aaron what to do. God is the one who will be teaching Aaron what to do. It says, I will teach you what to do. I will speak to the people for you, and it will be as if he were your mouth and as if you were God to him. Now, if you already know the story, then you already know kind of how this goes. You know, through the 10 plagues and going down talking to Pharaoh, let my people go. And Pharaoh's like, no, we're not going to do that. And you had all of those plagues that happened, all of those different things that happened in Egypt because Pharaoh was refusing to let God's people go. Not only did the Israelites see this, not only did the Egyptians see this, not only did Pharaoh himself see this, but Aaron saw this as well too. Aaron was there throughout the entire thing. And then not only that, when they got finished, the whole Red Sea situation where the sea got up and just moved out the way for the Israelites to move through, the manna and the quail going towards the promised land and everything, Aaron was there throughout all of this. Aaron was there with Moses. Aaron saw everything. Aaron received words from God like they were from God himself. Remember, God said that I will speak through you. So what happened with Aaron? There's a scripture in Exodus chapter 32, verses 1 through 4. And that scripture says this: when the people saw that Moses was long in coming down from the mountain, they gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." So here's what's going on. All right. So they've been through all of this. They have now been released from Egypt, and then they're now headed towards the promised land. Now, Moses goes up to have a conversation with God to get the 10 Commandments and everything, but he's gone for a little while. And as he's gone, the Israelites started to say, well, wait a minute. If he's been gone this long, maybe he's dead. So they get to Aaron, and again, in verse 1 through 4, when the people saw that Moses was so long in coming down from the mountain, so long because it had been a long time, they gathered around Aaron and said, "Come, make us gods who will go before us. As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." Moses was up on the mountain having an experience with God. He was getting the 10 Commandments. He was getting the laws from God himself. And these people who God had brought out of Egypt, who Moses had led, they're now thinking that he's dead. And then they go to the other man and they say, look, we need some gods to serve. Give us some gods to serve. And the man of God, the one who was there, Aaron, this same guy who saw all of this, what does he say? Verse 2 says this: Aaron answered them, take off the gold earrings that your wives and your sons and your daughters are wearing and bring them to me. So Aaron said, okay, take off all the gold that you have. Verse 3 says this: so all the people took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. Verse 4 says, he took what they handed him and made it into an idol cast in the shape of a calf, fashioning it with a tool. Then they said, these are your gods, O Israel, who brought you up out of Egypt. So the people who should have known better, but they didn't, they went to the man of God who should have known better, who saw all of this, had an encounter, went through everything. had the best intentions, was right along there with Moses. Can we say that he was evil? Well, I mean, he was a person. Things happen. But he was surrounded by people who influenced him to think differently. This man knew better. Did he forget everything that God had done? Did he forget everything that he had seen? No, he didn't forget it. He was influenced. So the idea and the point of what I'm trying to say is that people can influence you. You got to check the people who are around you, because, there are a lot of things that you might have seen. There are a lot of things that God has done for you. There are a lot of things that you're solid on in your own mind, but having a lot of the wrong people around you can influence you to think and do things differently. Speaking of Aaron, in Exodus chapter 32, verse 19 and 20, what happens when Moses comes back? When Moses approached the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, his anger burned, and he threw the tablets out of his hands, breaking them to pieces at the foot of the mountain. Moses had been gone. He comes back and he sees this calf and people dancing, all of this going on. He gets angry. He took the calf that they made, verse 20, and burned it in the fire, and then he ground it into powder, scattered it on the water, and made the Israelites drink it. The Israelites should have known better. But not only should they have known better, the person who was left in charge, Aaron, the priest, should have known better. Exodus 32 and 21, he said to Aaron, "What did these people do to you?" Implying that there was something that the people could do to him to make him have this mindset. Moses says to him, "What did these people do to you that you led them into such great sin?" Verse 22, Aaron says this, "Do not be angry, my Lord. You know how prone these people are to evil. They said to me, 'Make us gods who will go before us.'" Now that is true. Make us gods who will go before us. "As for this fellow Moses who brought us up out of Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." That's true as well too. Verse 24. "So I told them, whoever has any gold jewelry, take it off." That's true. "Then they gave me the gold, and I threw it into the fire, and out came this calf." Aaron tries to throw the blame, but ultimately he knows better. He was responsible. How did this happen? He was influenced. Y'all, we got to check the people who are around us. We got to check the people who are around us, because if we're not careful, they can influence us. Aaron knew what was going on. He knew better, but yet he allowed himself to be influenced by listening to the wrong people. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Take care.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you so much, and God bless.